All right, this is Mobile Gamer Nerd, and we are back with another Raid Shadow Legends video. Today we are going to be talking about the Barbarian crypt in Faction Wars. Now, I've tried to do this video a couple times. Apparently my computer sucks, so we're going to do this live. Make sure it goes through. All right, so unfortunately, I did use a bunch of my keys, so I am only going to be able to show you the last fight, basically. So that's the only one I can really show you, but I can at least give you an idea of the heroes that I used in order to get to where I got. So let's look. Today, we are going to look at most of the barbarians that you will get within basically the first 6 months of the game. Syl would be the last hero you would need to finish the crypt. It's almost a give me, to be honest, in this crypt because Syl basically lets you win. As long as you got a bunch of other 60s that are reasonably built and can survive, then you win. All right. So I'm not going to go too crazy into their builds. There are some of these heroes that I have spotlights on my channel. You can go check them out if you want to see more detail into their builds and where they're useful. But today we're just going to kind of go over gear. I'll give a quick overview of their stats and masteries. All right. So we've got Syl. She is in her Relentless set. All right. Skills all maxed, and we do have her in the Brimstone Blessing. Masteries, this is the quick overview. She's essentially defense and support. We want to make sure she has that accuracy to land her stuns. As far as stats go, this is the quick overview, so you can kind of see where she's at. Definitely a ton of HP, decent defense, not great. She's at almost 4,000, so, and a little bit of crit damage. Definitely want this accuracy high, okay? Next one on the list, we have High Katoon, another freebie that you are given in the first month of the game. We have her in a regen set because apparently she likes to die and doesn't have any heals. So we put her in a regen set, and now she's been doing great for me. I didn't really like her before. Skills, all max. We have her in the Chainbreaker Blessing. Masteries, we go all the way down to War Master and then down the support tree for a little more accuracy. Total stats, we've got 46,000 HP and a bunch more defensive. She has her crit rate sucks, so it kind of is counterproductive. I would probably change that if I were you, get her some more accuracy and defense, but that's just where she's at right now because I honestly don't use her as much as the other heroes that we're going to be showing in this video. All right, more Barbarians, another free to play hero, War Maiden. You can farm her in campaign. She's in a speed set. She does have an attack boot because we want to make sure her speed is not higher than my speed boosters. So that is that. Skills, totally maxed. She has Phantom Touch Blessing. Masteries, down to War Master and then down the support tree for more accuracy so she can land her defense downs. Total stats, she's got pretty low HP, not even 30,000. Really high attack for her. She should be more defensive. 37,900 attack, which is crazy. Reasonable stats, nothing crazy here. Higher accuracy than probably anything else. She should have higher, to be honest, probably around where Syl is, and more defense and less attack, but that's where she is right now, and actually she seems to work for me in the arena. Next, we've got Solban Boyer. Yeah, the best one. I just did that like an announcer. Solban Boyer. All right, enough of that garbage. We have her in lifesteal so she can heal herself, and then a little bit of attack and ignore defense. She already has ignore defense by 75% in her kit, so it's just like a little boost. Skills totally max. She's in Phantom Touch Blessing. Masteries, we go all the way down to War Master and then down the support side as well. Not too much support, mostly attack. Total stats. Boom. Decently high attack. She's got almost 4,000. No defense. You really should get more defense. Her crit damage is pretty decent, 171. Slight HP, which is okay, and then a little more accuracy we should probably get on her just so she can land her stuff, and that's her. The next one's on the list. Zephyr Sniper, our lovely uncommon Spider Champion. All right, lifesteal, because you want her to stay alive. Skills are maxed. Masteries, we went down the War Master and then into defense and counterattacks and things like that. We want her to be as defensive as possible when we use her. Total stats, she's got the most defense of any hero I own, so that's 4,600 defense. Yeah, you read that right. And then really high resist, so she doesn't get hit by spiders in the spider's den. That's her main use, but there you go, 237 resist. All right, who else we got here? Outrider. Now, Outrider's not going to be in the main team we're going to show, but we did use him to get to where we are. We have him in HP Destroy because we use him in Scarab King. He does have his skills maxed, masteries, all the way down to War Master, and then more of the accuracy side. You could build him in defense to make him a little more, tanky and do some counterattacks. And now thinking about it, it might be your best bet because honestly, his defense down isn't that exciting. It's only at 30%. So if you're using him for defense down, it's probably not the best option. You might want to go defense. But either way, accuracy works and you get the extra skill cooldown. So I'm fine with it. Total stats, he's the lowest HP. He's got 25,000. He's got 3,500 attack. Decent crit rate, obviously way over 100, should be lower. This should go into crit damage, but that's where he's at, and a little bit of accuracy just so he can land his things. And I think that's all the main barbarians that we're going to be using in this crypt today. I will show you as we go in. Close this. I will show you when we go in some of the other heroes that you can use in this faction. All right, so here you go. 63 stars. We did complete it. We have 518 stars. So if you're watching this video when I put this up, I actually said I had 550 stars. I apologize. We actually have 518. I thought I was further. All right, Barbarian Crypt. So we are going to go into the final stage. We have 3-starred everything. All right, battling. Now, these are some other heroes that you can use in here. Not in this fight specifically. You would probably still need Syl. All right, these are just some heroes that got me through. Any of the heroes here that are level 50 are ones that I currently have used in these fights as I was building my team. Obviously, I didn't just start the game with 5 level 60s and Syl, okay? Let's not pretend. So the ones we used to get through it in the beginning were War Maiden, Outrider, Zephyr I didn't really have at the time. Soulbond we used, and then Haikatun. As soon as I got her, we started using her in the faction crypt. Marked is amazing, so she's really good. And honestly, I would say she could be in your final team. I just didn't get her to 60 before I got some other barbarians. There's like a ton of barbarians you're gonna get in this game that are insanely useful. So don't feel like you're building the wrong heroes, right? Really, just in this case, I would say Syl and Soulbond are really good. War Maiden would definitely help. Zephyr just stays alive, which is why she's good. So you can get the 3-star. That's really her main focus. Same thing with Haikatun. They stay alive, and that's what you need. Outrider would die in this stage, but luckily we have Syl to pick him back up, but it's too risky because he just dies too often. All right, Marked is good. Sentinel's really good defensive hero. Berserker could be good. He's just someone that you can get his skills really easy because he's farmable. Slayer is basically his best friend, but they're a little bit different than each other, not much. Anointed could be a good speed boost. Braided is she's okay. This dude that you get from the noob tournament sucks. I would not build him in the beginning. He's like a later kind of mess around hero. And Shield Guard is really good, but he's going to require you to build him really well with really good skills to keep him alive, like lifesteal and high defense. So he could be used if you did build him. So don't think you can't. It's just he's going to take a little bit more work. That's all. All right. So let's get these guys out of here and let's put in the team that we actually used. All right. So we used Haikatun as the speed lead, and then everybody else just goes in there so they can survive. All right. So we're going to run this. Now, this fight does take a little bit of time on auto. I'm going to auto it just so you can kind of see that it does work even if you're not looking, because that's actually how I beat this crypt, is by not watching. I just didn't watch the fight. I kind of put it on auto and then I went to go walk the dog. And I say that a lot because that's basically what I do with my time when I'm not playing. So we just walked away and I came back and I was like, holy crap, we got a 3-star. That's insane. And I ran it yesterday and we also got a 3-star. However, the recording decided to freeze itself. So unfortunately, we're back where we are and we're doing this for the 3rd time. Actually, not the 3rd time. We're doing this for the 2nd time. And we did another video that failed on me yesterday also. So we're just having technical difficulties up the wazoo. And I'm not off right now. I actually have to go to work in about an hour. So it's kind of funny. I'm just like, you know what? I'm going to get this out. We got to get our Friday content out. I can't go to work and leave you guys for the weekend without some interesting stuff. So now this fight right here is the one that's going to take a little while because unfortunately, this jerkbag Maneater will usually get his unkillable off, and these guys aren't going to target him because they're also boneheads. But who knows? He's stunned right now, so there is a chance you could kill him on auto, but either way, they're not going to focus him. So unless he gets stunned again, more than likely he's getting that unkillable, and we're going to waste another round in order to kill him. And then all the other heroes, which sucks more. All right, so he did get stunned again, so that's good. The less heroes that have unkillable, the better, because it'll make the rounds go by faster, which is really what we want. There we go. We got a little more stuff going on. Is she going to be able to stun? See, they're still not focusing him. And this is where auto battle kind of goes awry for this game. I really wish that they would target heroes that do annoying things because it just makes the fights longer. So if there's anything I would say for this specific dungeon that would make your life easier, it would be having a hero that can break through or remove debuffs. Okay? That's probably your best bet. Wow, this is literally going to be the best time we've ever had because we usually spend another 2 minutes in here. So we're getting a good view here. They actually were able to stun Maneater the whole time. So there you go. We don't have to worry about unkillable right now. But if you have stronger heroes, yeah, you're going to beat it. But that's the whole point of this, is we want to beat this with basically the lowest tier heroes you can get for free, since we are a mystery shard only run. Syl is essentially there to keep your waves in check, like you just saw, which is probably the best she's ever done at it. You've got Haikatune in the lead so that you can get some extra speed. You've got Soul Bond for turn meter reduction. You've got War Maiden for defense down. Heroes are going to die in here. It's going to happen. Sill's here to pick them back up and keep everyone healed as much as possible. Luckily, Haikatune also has a turn meter reduction. And then, like I said, Zephyr's literally just there because she doesn't die. That's seriously her only purpose in this entire fight, is just not to die. We don't really care about her damage so much. She's probably going to be one of the lowest. And yeah, that's really it. Now, this team will work throughout the entirety of this crypt. I got to, I think, around 16 without Syl. So all you really need is to build a couple of decent heroes. I mean, all of these are free except for Soul Bond. You would have to pull her. So in that case, you could use one of the other heroes. You could use the farmable hero guy, Berserker. You could bring him in here instead of Soul Bond just to get through the early stages. And then once you start pulling some better heroes, then yeah. Now this boss has a ton of HP. It's got a ton of debuffs. If I had to make any recommendations as far as stat requirements that you would want to change versus what I have going on right now, it would be to build your resist a lot higher. If you have a team with really high resist, these bosses basically become trivialized because they put a ton of debuffs on you. Constantly fearing, constantly freezing, constantly doing a bunch of stuff that is really annoying. And some of them even do heal swap, which basically means they take their HP and swap it with your highest HP hero, and then they have full health again and you have none. It's a suck maneuver, but it is what it is. Especially on a boss fight, it's kind of a jerk move to put in there. So yeah, but this one doesn't have it. We're pretty good right now. It looks like it's going fairly well. I think the worst time we ever got was about 7 minutes. This one looks like it might, like 6 maybe. We'll see. It depends how much damage they can do. 100% in here. Soul Bond does have the turn meter remove, basically, just gets you back down to 0. So that's kind of a nice skill. And she has really high attack on her multipliers. So she's kind of a good hero for you want to smack them. And then we used Outrider basically up till, like I said, around probably 16. By then, he started dying because the fights were basically all heroes that can do reflect damage, they can do counterattacks, they can do unkillables, and then you're just getting hit a lot. So Syl definitely makes it easier because you can stun them while those things are going on, and then they can't, when they get their turn, they just can't attack, and then you kill them after the unkillable. Same thing with what is that, with like the reflect damage and all that stuff. You can kill them one at a time and maybe not auto it. But this team can pretty much auto all the fights at this point because Syl can resurrect anybody that dies. There's still definitely some fights that might be a problem and you may have to not auto them, and I would probably say stay away from those fights because as far as like farming, I would stay away from those fights. Just because you're going to have your team doing AoEs on an entire team that has counterattack, and then you're going to get killed fast. So those I would just do manual just to get the 3 stars. And then once you get to this point, I would just farm whichever stage it is. Maybe I think probably 20 and 18, one of those two. I forgot which ones are the good ones. Just farm those. You'll get the stuff you need, and it'll get you through this faction crypt. Okay. And looks like we're probably going to be in the same time frame. Looks like killing that other wave quickly didn't really change our time too much here. But this is a realistic version of what you're going to get. This probably will be most people's first crypt that they finish. And it's literally just because you get Syl. Syl is the single reason that you're going to basically beat this with almost any team as long as they're reasonably built. And there you go. We got that nice little brimstone going on Syl. That's the best blessing for her, by the way. We haven't done a video on her, but yeah, definitely get. I think I've said it at least 20 times in most of my videos that brimstone on Syl is amazing because her attack isn't super high, so getting that extra brimstone is basically helps you destroy bosses a lot quicker. So yeah, we're about 7 minutes here. Hopefully he doesn't kill anyone. Looks like we should be pretty good. Okay, so you can decrease turn meter with them, so that's good. Keeps him from attacking. The less attacks these bosses get, the better. You don't want them to be able to kill you. So there you go. That was stage 21 Barbarian Crypt. Done. So damage, we go to Syl 640, War Maiden 778. Soul Bond, like I said, she's the strongest one, 835, and that's because she's a single target DPS, except for her A1. Zephyr did 666. Way better than I thought, honestly. Probably because the waves took a while and she kept getting damage. Haikatune, very low because we just use her there for speed up, so that's fine. As far as the other fights in this crypt, Most of these ain't too bad. I mean, you could do these. Like this would probably be a good one to farm. You know what? We'll run it. Oh wait, we can't do it. This is four. We'll run this one just so you can kind of see another turn. We'll see if they win without dying. As far as remember that I did on on auto, to be honest. But let's just see if this is one that you could farm once you get to this point in the game, because the final fight is a little annoying. You could put that on auto and just go to dinner. That is an option. This pops up. It got this bonehead here. So I don't know if I'd be wanting to farm this stage because he does unkillable. So let's see if they kill quick. I wanna let it run. It's dangerous. So fight, yeah. I mean, I probably we're gonna take this off auto because I want to turn into a unkillable fest. It looks like they're doing a pretty good job of it, but just in case, there we go. All right, there we go. So I probably wouldn't farm this one. Maybe you really someone who can break through those debuffs, which at this point, this team it affords the right back, maybe build a couple of other heroes that in here and help you farm them faster. There's definitely plenty out there, so don't think that this is the only team. This is just the only free to play. Basically, everyone's going to get except for Soulbond. So Soulbond's the only one in here that not everyone in this game can get and get easily. Basically, it'll take you a month to get War Maiden, High Katoon, and Zephyr, and then 6 months to get Syl, essentially. But you probably aren't going to be running stage 20 of any crypt, to be honest, in the first 3 to 4 months anyway. You'll probably still be working on like stage 14-ish, if I had to guess. And there you go. So now we got some nice gems. We got a little 5-star thing here, which we need to complete. And there you go. So they can win it. It's just that one guy's a little bit annoying, so maybe push down a little bit. It's really the only difference here is that you're gonna get 4 to 6 instead of 3 to 6, which is it doesn't sound like a lot, but it is a pretty big deal to get 4s instead of 3s. So really, it's up to you. Me personally, after watching that fight, I would probably just put it on auto for 21 and then go out to eat. And that's what I would do. It only happens once a week or once every 2 weeks, so it's not the end of the world. But that's at least until you get some other heroes that can kind of punch through or remove debuffs. Just in case he gets that auto, and then you put it on auto, and then you're just attacking that guy literally the whole time when you get back, and you're going to see the fight's going to be like 30 minutes. All right. So that's basically it. I mean, you saw all the heroes that I have. As far as index goes, we're going to go in here and just look real quick at some of the heroes that you could use in here if you're not really pulling really heavy heroes. So obviously we're not using bullies, so we're going to stay away from him. Zephyr's good. I would say who else is in here? Pit Fighter. No. Outlander is okay if you need someone in the beginning. Shield Guard is good. Outrider is good. Those are the ones I would probably say are decent uncommons. As far as the rare versions, we don't deal in voids. I'm sure some of these are okay for it, but we're not going to touch them. Tiger Soul could be good for removing some debuffs, I think. Is that what she does? Or weakens? Yeah, she places block debuffs, which could be good for the fight with the bosses. Don't sleep on remove debuffs or block debuffs. It's really good for bosses. Bloodbraid, like I said, she could be a boss killer. She does have heal reduction, which could be good against that, 100% against that heal swap. So that is something that you could think about if you need it. Berserker is the other guy, like I said, he's got an AoE attack and he's got an extra turn if he kills things. So that's really good if you give him tons of attack and crit, and then he'll just kill something and then kill something again. Marked is really good. She's got an AoE, she's got block debuffs. Definitely would build her even if you're not using her for Faction Wars. Sentinel, definitely a good tank. He's got Provoke, some good stuff there. War Maiden, like I said, is really good. Slayer's an option, but not great. And Anointed is an option, but not great. Sky Touch Shaman is good if you guys are pulling shards. Who else you got? Falkrin is good. Falkrin. This chick is really good. Barrett's kind of sucked. I didn't really like him. Let's see who else in here can I consider being good. I think this guy, Hoskarul, I think he's pretty good too. And then obviously Legendary is good, but we're not going to really go into those guys. If you have one, then good for you. I would say Valkyrie and Turvol would be one of your best. All right. So that's all the heroes from the Barbarian Crypt. That's the team that I use to beat it. Just basically start with those. Start with War Maiden. Start with Zephyr. Start with High Katoon. Start with Outrider. And then whoever your fifth is, I would say Berserker be the best because you can literally just farm him and max his skills. Go in there, try to get as many stars as you can. Don't worry about getting 3 stars in the beginning. Just worry about beating it and being able to farm the level, even if you get 1 star, because you just want to get the highest amount of glyphs that you can get. Start there, and then eventually you can start building them to 5-star and then building them to 6-star. And then there you go. You could beat it with the team that I just showed you. So once again, this is Mobile Gamer Nerd. This is the Barbarian Crypt. Free to play, only mystery shards. This is how you beat it. You guys, take care.